In this section, we are going to discuss an important concept of Snowflake, which is time travel. In the previous section, we discussed about different types of tables that are there in Snowflake. If you have not gone through the previous section, I would recommend you to go through all the lectures of previous section and then continue with this section. To understand what is time travel, let us first take a look at the continuous data protection lifecycle of Snowflake. In Snowflake, we create different types of objects such as database, schemas, or tables, or views. We use different kinds of DDL statements, DML statements, and DQL to perform operations on these objects. Now, to understand the concept of time travel, let us take a look at the timeline through which we will take an example. Let's suppose you have created a employees table on day 1 and inserted 3 records, and on day 5 you have inserted 5 records in employees table, and on day 10 you have updated 2 records. Then on day 12 you have deleted 1 record, and finally on day 16 you have inserted 2 new records and updated 1 record. So this is the basically timeline for employees table that you have followed. This is a hypothetical example, but in practical scenarios you make updates in each table almost every day. For this example, let's suppose you have done all these operations on employees table. According to this timeline, we are now at day 16, and suppose someone says to you that show me the data that was there in employees table on day 10. By default, it is not possible to go back in history to basically travel in the time. But using the time travel functionality of Snowflake, we can achieve this. We can easily go to the snapshot that was there of employees table on day 10, and we can see all the changes which happened from day 1, then day 5 and up to day 10 easily. Even if someone says, show me just the snapshot of the employees table that was there on just day 1. This is also possible in a similar fashion. Now if someone says to create a new table based on the data that was there up to day 12, there are some operations that we can perform through which we can create a copy of the table from the history of employees table. So basically, time travel allows us to go back in the time and take these snapshots into a new table, or maybe just view the records that were there in a table in the history. It's not just you can just go to the time for the existing objects. Even if you have dropped any database, schema, or tables, you can also undrop those tables or schemas and objects from a specific period of time. This time travel feature of Snowflake really saves our life when someone by mistake drops a table or updates table, or maybe just delete few of the records from the table. We can just go back to the history and create a snapshot from the history of the table, so that we now have the correct data in place. Let's now go back and continue our discussion on data protection lifecycle. Now we have already seen the operations that we have performed on various days on employees table. So this is the first layer that we were talking about. Coming to the second layer of the data protection lifecycle, to enable time travel on the objects, we have to set a property which is time travel retention period. The minimum time for the time travel retention period is 0 days, and maximum is 90 days for the enterprise and higher editions of Snowflake. However, for the standard edition of Snowflake account, it just goes up to 1 day. Time travel retention period is an important property for time travel, which enables us to retain the data up to certain number of days in the history. Now let's suppose you have set the time travel retention period up to 90 days, which is the maximum time. that is allowed for time travel retention period for employees table. Post this period, employees table will go to failsafe zone where the data is retained for up to 7 days for permanent tables, and for transient, failsafe is not allowed. But the catch is you cannot fetch the data or restore the data once the data has been moved to failsafe zone. Failsafe zone has been configured by Snowflake for their purposes only, because in case of any disasters where their complete availability area or complete region has been crashed, they can retain the data or restore your data using this failsafe zone. In rare scenarios where you want to restore the data from the failsafe zone, you may have to contact a Snowflake company. Now let's see what all operations can be performed using time travel within a specific period of time. First is we can run queries on data that has since been updated or deleted in the past. As I have explained, we can restore the data from a specific point of time in the history for a specific object using time travel queries. We can also create clones of entire tables, schemas, and databases at or before specific points in the past. We can also restore table schemas and databases that have been already dropped. Since time travel retention period is an important property for time travel, let's explore a bit more about it. Time travel retention period is a key component of Snowflake time travel, and it specifies the number of days for which historical data is preserved. Just to reiterate that we can preserve the data for permanent tables up to 90 days, and for transient table up to 1 day, and for temporary table also we can set this property up to 1 day only. It enables time travel mechanism to perform operations such as select, create, clone, undrop on the data. Standard retention period is 1 day, which means 24 hours, and is automatically enabled for all Snowflake accounts, irrespective of the edition of the Snowflake. For Snowflake Standard Edition, the retention period can be set to 0 or unset back to the default of 1 day at the account and objects level. But for Snowflake Enterprise Editions and higher, which is business critical, the properties are different for transient objects and permanent objects. For transient objects, the retention period can be set to 0 or can be unset back to the default of 1 day. The same is also for the temporary tables. But for permanent tables or objects, the retention period can be set to any value up to 90 days. For time travel, users with the account admin role only can set data retention time in days value. This is a parameter while creating the objects on Snowflake. Once the defined period has elapsed, the data is moved into Snowflake failsafe. We will talk about failsafe in the subsequent section. And note, in this slide, objects are referred to as databases, schemas, and tables. Now let's perform various labs on time travel in the next lectures.